Yo, welcome everybody to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. We are here for the penultimate round, number 13 of 14 for the Canadian Grand Prix. A lot of drivers' home track is tonight. We got 13 drivers for round number 13, and as always in season 13, this is the silver class. We are live on both the YouTube and Twitch, and don't worry, this is our first take. And welcome everybody to Tuesday night, and that means silver class. We had a big support on the last stream on the YouTube channel. Just want to thank everyone for the support, all the likes, the follows, subscribes on the YouTube side of things. It definitely helps support the channel, and it definitely helps the league grow. So hopefully we can have the same support here tonight on either platform. And I'm not alone. I am joined alongside by Platinum Class driver of the Alfa Romeo, Silent. How are you, and what are we expecting here tonight?
Well, thank you for having me on. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're doing good. And rain, Canada, I think we can only expect some chaos, at least for qualifying in the wet.
Yeah, we got some mixed conditions. Formula Jonah 19.5 to set things straight off the rip. And yeah, we should be getting a dry race here, according to some sources. So most likely drivers are running their dry setups, so it's not going to be the preferred option, although it's just the intermediate condition, so it shouldn't be too far off. The dry setup should be pretty good as Jonah goes for a spin. A little too much on the traction. Thankfully, no damage. No one got caught up in it. Last week's race was a thriller, and if you did miss it, you have to go back and watch it. I don't know if I should spoil. I gotta say, this is the spoiler right now. If you didn't watch it, cover your ears for a second. McLaren did a great job. They got a 1-2 with Blinn Machine taking it last week, and Chibar's first podium in the Alpine. It was out of nowhere with a late safety car. Changed up the field, and we had a lot of safety cars. Australia, a lot of wrecks. Do we think we're going to get the same thing here tonight? Canada, kind of a similar track to Australia, kind of like those park street circuits. Not necessarily a street circuit, but kind of a park-esque street circuit. As Thibaut on provisional pole. It was his first DNF last week after claiming the silver class championship. McLaren and Ferrari very close indeed, 12 points separating them. McLaren took over after their 1-2 last week, so Ferrari a little bit of catching up to do here in the final two races. We have Canada, and we have the finale at Coda next week.
Thibaut has a pretty convincing pole time, for at least for the time being. Half a second off. Oh, there we go. Even more between him and T2. Almost 8 tenths.
Yeah, it's a pretty good margin here in the wet. Sir Charles has an invalidation. Sir Vapor's quite handy. He's sitting 6th. And what I like about it, as a Sir Vapor gets a purple middle sector, about the wet qualifyings, is you just put a decent amount of fuel in and you just go for a nice long run. Try to get comfortable with the track and push the car a little bit more each lap, gaining that comfort level. You'd probably do maybe 2 runs, right? You probably split the quali in 2.
Yeah, definitely. You want to make sure you have the freshest tire at both points, and probably leaving the like an inch, not too much, or not an inch, but just a really minute amount of fuel for the last few minutes. Tebow's been quite scruffy. A tenth off on this lap.
And the secret to getting around Canada is chicane, chicane, chicane. Hey, there's another chicane. It's pretty much all chicanes and a hairpin.
Yeah, it makes for a really awkward track. I don't know about you, but there is a flow to it, but it's just an awkward flow. It's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say about Canada. It's just weird, purely straight lines and a couple of chicanes. Feels like it's just a lot of traction zones and not much else in terms of substance.
Do you enjoy racing here, or is it kind of a meh track for you?
I'd say it's meh, only because it feels like a bit of a joke. Like, we're playing a game, yeah, but at the same time, like, the last corner is more like you're playing for just to stay alive for the next lap once you're getting it into the last chicane, and then it's like just a DRS battle most of the time.
Well, you might have a few Canadians in the Discord going after you after this
Yeah. They're getting their pitchforks ready.
one. 8 minutes left in qualifying. Tebow still staying strong with the 18 for T-Brum and the other Red Bull of Sir Vapor. A few tenths behind. Half a second up is Jonah. And it's all about nailing the last chicane, like you mentioned. It could all go right or wrong with a simple invalidation or being a little too cautious, losing all that valuable time. Getting a nice run, clipping the wall of champions would be as close as you can get to the wall without really hitting it is advised. As Jonah goes 18.9, decent lap by the Alpha T.
Any guesses for Tebow on pole? Maybe a 17, you think?
Yeah, I mean, Tebow's looking definitely strong right now. I don't know if anyone else can really put in that money lap. But, yeah, I think possibly he could grab another 410s. I think it's definitely on the table. Riding on board with Sir Charles on the McLaren, currently P6. He's 3/10 slower on this lap. His teammate Blinn, last week's winner, still no lap time on the board, and we're 6 minutes in. And I know I'm a big critic of Blinn's qualifying tactics, but I feel like, although he is going purple middle sector, although we have been fooled before with a little bit of a game glitch, I would assume in wet conditions you would want to get out as early as possible to gain as much knowledge as you can in the wets.
Absolutely. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's to me, any wet laps that you can do during a qualifying session is like an immense amount of knowledge.
Blinn goes P7, first lap of the day. Yeah, I just feel like you're pretty much putting your hands behind your back and tying them for the guy who's trying to tie you up already.
Basically, yeah. I mean, your back's right up against the wall. You have no room for error, especially in the wet. So then everybody else has an advantage just seeing what the grip is actually like. Oh, 18-2.
Oh, Perfect Pond. He made his debut last weekend. I don't know why I keep saying last weekend. We don't race on weekends, Freeze. Perfect Pond.
We should, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we once did. We actually started. We used to be Saturdays. Way back when. Many years ago. But Perfect Pond, P4 in his first race at Australia. I think he was about to cross the line first, or definitely up on the podium. He was carrying a time penalty, which demoted him off the top steps. But he does seem like a pretty quick driver. Tebow's on a lap as right now. He's got to try to claim back pole position if he can. Might get another 2 laps in if he's good with time management. Opts for 3rd gear in the final chicane. Improves, but not by position. Very close between the top 2.
Oh, wow.
Now let's check out some corner names here. We don't have many corner names at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Definitely pronouncing that wrong. You won't catch me saying that again.
Could be worse. You could be saying Gilles Villeneuve.
I mean, Crofty or Brundle, they definitely would have pronounced it wrong, for sure. I feel like just nowadays they always confuse the drivers of who they're actually commentating on. I think for an entire battle of last weekend at Miami, that Crofty mixed up Vettel with Stroll, and it was actually one or the other for the entirety of the battle.
I've noticed the same thing. To give him a fair chance, though, it is pretty difficult sometimes. Oh.
As Tebow gets provisional 18-1. Perfect Pond is still in the pits. He's on his outlap, so he will get at least one more go in.
They're going tit for tat here. Perfect Pond was ahead by about half a tenth. Now Tebow is up by half a tenth.
Charles still a tenth slower in the first sector. Doesn't look like he'll be challenging. Surveyor's on an invalid lap. Tebrum just finished his lap. Did not improve. Tebow's another tenth up on his time. And there it is, 17s. And I mean barely a 17, a 998 that is. As Perfect Pond gets ready to start his lap. Turn 1 and 2, another chicane. Into kind of a hairpin. Turn 2 is kind of a hairpin. Very easy to cut on this next section here. And every chicane you go through, you're always approaching a wall. So if you get it wrong, you're going to have to let off the throttle. And there goes all your time down the entire straightaway. As there's Perfect Pond. Yep. He got a little too eager on the throttle, had to lift off, and that's pretty much your lap over.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. Got a little bit too greedy.
It's Tebow, another 0.2 above his time. He's really finding the limits. He wants to prove a point. Keeps it valid through the wall of champions. And to the line, it'll be an improvement. Alright. A little bit more conservative in the final quarter. He did improve. Still in the 17.9s. But he was 0.2 out of the hairpin. Let's see if anyone else is going to improve on their times. I don't think anyone else is challenging. Formula Jonah's definitely not getting it. G-Bar's done. Rafa's invalid. Blin's invalid. Omega's done. And Vince rounding off the grid. So it's Tebow with the pole position. And that is his eighth pole position of the season. And he's been 4 for 7 so far on converting a pole position to a win. So he's got an opportunity to at least maintain the 4 for 8. That'd be a 500 split.
I'm gonna turn my fan on. Let me know if I have any static coming from it.
10-4. As you see, a few Canadians and a Frenchie up in third. Your Americans are 5, 6, 7, and 12.
Canadians are truly representing tonight.
It's always great when because we do pretty much Canada and US almost every season, just because it is a lot of people's home tracks, since we are a North American presence of league. And it's always interesting to see some seasons, some classes, some races, you'll see them dominate at their like full podium, and even more, where you'll have Canadians dominating their home race or Americans dominating the COTA race. And then sometimes it's reversed. It's usually never split down the middle, is what I've been
It's always going to be one or the other.
yeah.
You know what's usually a nice upset? It's going to be, like, imagine an All-American podium at Britain. You know how much of an upset that is?
Yep. It was almost like when Sebastian Vettel won at Britain in 2018, and then Hamilton won 1 week later, you know, whatever it was, at Germany. Alright, so that'll start the formation lap. It is time for some predictions. We have an alternate strategy, very mixed grade of tires due to the qualifying, which is definitely going to shake things up here tonight. Only the 13, but you only need 2 to tango. What are the predictions here for the top 3? Silent, give us the top 3.
Oh, that's a bit of a tough one. Maybe, let's see. I'm actually stumped because this constructors fight that we have between McLaren and Ferrari right now, it's like you got two of the cars are top 5 or in the bottom half of the grid. So I can't really predict the top 3 here because I want to put one or at least 2 of those cars to be in the top 3, but
wow.
it's tough.
So you're not even putting in a free bet. You get one free bet every week, whoever the co-com is, and you're saying, all right, I'll give two chips to Freeze.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get my predictions in. I like Tebow here. We usually don't see champions succeed after they clinch the title. We saw that last week. He had his first DNF. I think he comes back strong here at Canada in his home race, representing the Canadian flag. I like Sir Vapor for second, and I like Blend Machine. He's always good at Canada, I feel. I think he'll use that momentum from last week and put McLaren on the podium. So we'll ride on board with the Red Bull of Tebrum. As we get the 5 red lights here for the penultimate round of the Canadian Grand Prix here in silver. Let go. Decent start from the top 2. Tebow should have control into 1. Sir Charles down the inside of the Red Bull, trying to stick it around turn 2. Tebrum gets a nice go-ahead. In the background, they're all fighting for position. Rafa Hulk on Palmer. Bar down to 9th. And you see the mixture of strategy as Blin and Bar side by side. Blin getting a nice exit on Palmer. Getting the slipstream of the Alpine. Should promote him. Very opportunistic around the outside, and that is going to hurt Blend Machine. A little bit of contact between the Aston and the McLaren. Palmer is going backwards. As here comes Vince. 3 wide in the hairpin, and we got 35 laps around this place. And they're really going for it.
Ooh, Rafa Hulk, get on the run on Jonah, getting right past the guy. Seems like Jonah had a poor exit out of the chicane, pretty tricky there, especially for him being on the medium right now. Let's see if I can pull up the stream.
And already, first penalty of the day goes to Chibar. 3-second time penalty. And that is not what you want on lap 2, given there's 35 laps, and it's very easy to get a penalty here. I think you'll see almost the entire grid get one. As Sir Vapor already, again, second driver with a 3-second. We got Vince on Omega. That's for 11th. Omega takes it around the outside. Holds position. Nice defense. We got Ferrari leading the pack and following out the caboose. Monkey Mafia's got to do some stuff here in this race if he wants to give Ferrari some points. Kind of stuck behind Omega and Vince at the moment. As Palmer gets a penalty, so 3 drivers already. We might see a disqualification at some point.
You would really hope not. But
I really hope not,
that
too.
penalty is super quick. Tebow had a lot of pace there for this lap. Before the DRS, Perfect Pond was almost a second out of DRS. That's what I mean by this track. It's a bit because it becomes a DRS game. Yeah, we see this. A Perfect Pond lifted a little bit to stay behind.
Yeah, and you'll have some drivers who will go for every single move that presents itself. And then you'll have some drivers who will think a little bit smarter. As Blend Machine pitting, he might picked up damage. Might have clipped the wall. He's going on to the mediums, and yes, it is a wing change. You know, Monkey gets past Omega, now trying for Vince. Let's see Monkey get his elbows out. I think he gets this pass here around the outside. Nice traction. Gets the momentum into 3. A little contact between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Promotes Omega. Oh.
Does Mercedes have damage?
I don't know.
He's going really slow for a second. How's it going?
Interesting. Nice racing on the opening laps by the pair of 3. Is that how you say it? Trio. There we go. Sir Charles on T-Brum gets it for 4th. He's got those soft tires.
Perfect Pawn getting right up to the gearbox of T-Bro right now. And he's on the medium tire. You got to be a little bit worried if you're T-Bro now.
Yeah, I would be. Unless he's really trying to conserve right here. You know, he does have control of this race.
And Rafa Hulk with the 3-second time penalty.
It is very hard to break the slipstream in the DRS here. The DRS is very powerful, and I think that is what is allowing Perfect Pawn to stick with Tebow. Softs are definitely quicker for a certain stage of the race, but on high fuel, you really can't get everything out of it. So that's why the alternate strategy, if it stays green, softs are really good at the end as Perfect Pawn closing in to the chicane here at the Wall of Champions, but backs out of it and he's using some battery here. Will he make a move into 1? He's going to go to the inside. Side by side into 1, very close between the 2. Tebow continues.
Oh.
As Perfect Pawn gets a penalty, so drivers really struggling with the track limits here, and I think if any drivers from Golden or Platinum, as maybe yourself and I, will definitely be looking at the limits as Perfect Pawn gets the job done and overtakes Tebow in a very weird place, because now I believe that might have given Tebow the DRS for the next 2 straightaways.
Yep. If you're Tebow, do you try and stick behind and conserve the car and maybe stack up some ERS, or continue trying to fight?
Yeah, it depends on how confident he is. He didn't really get that good a run out of Wall of Champions, so maybe you just stick around here. Maybe conserve a little bit. You know, he is not carrying a penalty, so already these guys are making it easy for him. You know, 3 of the 4 drivers have penalties in the top 4. And this is one of those races which, you know, I really don't like because of the penalty aspect. And, you know, here in TCR we do sometimes run the regular limits on certain tracks. Earlier on in the season we had some more regular limits, although the strict worked quite well for a lot of them because it really isn't as bad as last game. But even when we did do that, we always had Canada strict because they're all chicanes. So if you cut on the first portion of the chicane, you're most likely going to be gaining on the second part of the corner. And if you keep that trend up, that's a lot of lap time around a short track.
Very much so. It can be worth at least, what, 3/10, maybe half a second every lap?
Yeah, I mean, I would say something, at least a few tenths.
You know, the next person that can really challenge Tebow right now and without penalties is Sir Charles. And he's got Rafa Hulk in front of him, and he's about 5 seconds off the lead. You think maybe Sir Charles is thinking about the win right now, or probably not?
you can never count him out. He's always in the conversation, and he's always one to keep learning as the race evolves. And he's definitely still in that conversation. He's still definitely well within it. He is behind Rafa Hulk, but maybe it'll come back to him a little bit more if he either gets past Rafa Hulk or maybe goes for an undercut or overcut, gets some position. Then we'll definitely see some of his pace. And I'm wondering when any of the soft runners will pit. I would probably say you could definitely take them at least 10-12 laps, even maybe a little bit more if you want. As Palmer gets past Jonah with the DRS. In your opinion, does this track do better for the wheel users or controller users, or is it pretty much a constant? There's a lot of chicanes, but there's also a lot of tricky traction zones.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to give it to the controller users only because of the traction zones. I think the only section where wheel users can really shine is probably like a handful of corners in the middle sector and the last chicane, but even then it's like it's mostly like a traction driven track, so I would have to say it's more of a controller based.
Fair enough. I would probably agree. I think the traction the controller users get is quite handy around this place, as somebody must have signaled to these soft tire users to come into the pits, because they all did it the exact same time. Rafa still leads Sir Charles, Thibaut leading on Sir Vapor. Now Thibaut will have some clean air to work with, maybe work on that alternate strategy. We'll see how long these medium tires go.
Maybe Perfect Pond could look himself into a safety car.
Yeah. If he gets one now, though, he'd still have to pit twice unless he puts the hards on.
Yeah, he could try that, but I mean, he would be just as good if he stays out with these same mediums, to be honest.
Oh, well, there's a yellow. That's Omega. Spun it out of, was that turn 7?
Oof.
Just want to thank everyone for tuning in on both the YouTube and the Twitch. This is the silver class, the mixed assist class for TCR. We are in our 13th season on the penultimate round, and we are definitely doing next season on the new game F122, and we'll have more information on that if you do decide to join. I encourage you to go to the website and learn a little bit more about us. You could join the Discord and get signed up for next season. No permanent start date, but if I had to guess, it's probably sometime in August. As we have our first retiree, that's Vince on the exit of 2, and that's a safety car. And Perfect Pond did pass the pit lane, as did T-Brum. Got Palmer's opting to stay out. Formula Jonah will take the bait. The bait. My bad. He'll take the bait. Or the bite, whatever he wants. You decide if you want to be casting the line or you want to be the fish.
What would you be doing right now if you were one of the guys in the top 3?
I don't know. I'd be mad that I have a penalty that early in the race, although, because it really does hurt your race. Like, you know, if we look at the top 3 from the safety car restart, it's going to be Tebow, Charles, and Jonah.
Yeah. I mean, ideally from this point, these guys can go probably double soft, because they're going to have to pit it anyways. Or they can take these mediums ultra long and maybe just go for one stint on the soft, because, well, there's no way that they can pit and not lose track position at this point. They're all concertinaed up. Poor guys.
Yeah, I'd probably stay out at this point, because you would be coming probably behind Formula Jonah, and maybe even behind Chibar Monkey Mafia. At that point it would be too much of a loss. I do like the track position here. I think safety cars breed more safety cars, so if you do get another safety car early, possibly pit then, and then I would probably put the softs on. Now the initial stint the soft runners did in this race was, I think, 8 full laps, so I believe they can do more than that, especially on lighter fuel, a little bit of management. They could definitely last a lot longer. It's just whether or not it'll feel good, and I think they can get to the end with some soft tires. It just might not feel good.
Yeah, it's gonna take some patience to just drag these tires out. I know on some tracks it feels more hard than others. I know it's probably like for example Abu Dhabi. This track, when you're dragging the tires out, the percentage may be low, but you're sliding a crap ton. And for some reason, the undercut is just brutal.
Yeah, for sure. But Canada's always been a there about one stop or two stop. At least in previous games, I've always remembered that the two stop on the softer tires, you get that nice grip, that good speed, the traction through the corners, but you have to pit twice. It is kind of a short pit lane. That's why the two stop kind of can work. But nowadays, with the safety cars that we get, and the hard tire not really working too well, and also the medium tire working really well, a soft medium at this track is very doable. And any other previous game, you would never, I don't think, you would never do a one stop at Canada from the soft to medium tire, or whatever it was. Back then they were the ultra, super, hyper, grippy softs, whatever they used to call them. But you would never do the softest in the middle for a one stop. So this game, the hards are so useless.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, I can't lie. I remember using, like for example at Silverstone, I don't know why I remember Silverstone so often, but I believe it was on 2017 where you would usually go medium and then hard. I think that's what it was,
yeah.
The strategy. And then at certain tracks you could like go on the hyper soft, but it was like 3 or 4 laps, and then you just went on to a two-stop strategy. I wish we had more of that.
Well, at Britain, I'm pretty sure, and there was a few other tracks, you had the super hard tire.
Did we?
Yeah, it was
no.
It
they
was
weren't
like
used.
Not many. No, yeah, they were not a good. Nobody used that tire. I think I don't know if it was like an orange wool tire or like a blue wool tire. It was a weird color. Not much use out of that one. Well,
they had an orange hard tire, then a blue one, which is like the ultra hard.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so it'll be Perfect Pond's opportunity and his choice to decide when to go. Doing a lot of weaving, warming up the tires. He's going to go out of the wall of Champion Chicane, and he gets a nice gap and a good run down to turn 1. Everyone's single file. And Perfect Pond's mission right now is to break that DRS. See if he can... Oh, his T-Brum slaps the wall a little bit. He's going to promote Got Palmer right behind. Using a lot of battery early on, possibly. And here comes Tebow, nowhere to go.
Wow, he's really boxed in. And he tapped Palmer.
He's got Sir Vapor on his outside, and Sir Vapor might look for a dive here. Not only on Tebow, but maybe on Got Palmer. No, but Palmer on T-Brum. And here comes Tebow. He's like, let me split both of you. It did not work, and that's going to bring in Jonah.
You have to wonder with that contact that they made if Tebow has any damage. I'm sure he's frustrated right now.
T-Brum into the pits. He did pick some damage up on that wall out of turn 4. Perfect Pond. 3.5 seconds over at Palmer. As he has definitely broken a lead out. Blend Machine looking on Jonah. Down the inside. Decides better. Blend and Jonah on these nice soft tires. Carrying 0 penalties. Sir Vapor getting past Got Palmer. That's the tire deficit. 15 versus the 6 laps. And Tebow will he try a move here? Palmer's defensive. He's going to lift off, maybe get a nice run. Look into turn 1. That's exactly what he'll do. We get DRS on the next lap. Down the inside is Tebow. Palmer hanging around the outside. He's got something left in those mediums.
Hopes and dreams.
Palmer's got a dream. And if he keeps getting held up at this rate, that's going to bring in Jonah and Blinn. They're on some fresh rubber.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe these EDA guys are in a party and Palmer's doing the job. You think?
Yeah, I'm not too sure of the extent, but yeah, there's a bunch of EDA drivers. Drink Alchemy. We got Perfect Pond, Got Palmer, and T-Brum, as Tebow with the DRS finally gets past the Aston. Shaq in the comments, thank you for that on the YouTube side of things. We try to do our best here on the commentary, and like I said at round 1, by round 14 we'll get it situated. That means next race is going to be our best commentary yet. Jonah, look at the traction he gets here. Yeah, you know what? We really should.
That'd be hectic.
I say we get Turkey, myself, and possibly you if you're available.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice. D'Angelo as well. He's been quite nice in silver. As Palmer down 2 on lap 18. A lot of DRS moves here at Canada. You're really not going to see much more. This brings Sir Charles into battle. He's got half the wear that Palmer has. But Palmer will also have the DRS on the McLaren in front. Just got it on Blin Machine. As Blin gets it on Jonah into the wall of champions. Jonah had to really back out. You can only put one car through there. Blin Machine carrying the more speed. Had the inside line. And that is Blin up to 4th. Doing a great job here tonight.
I think Blin is driving with the mission right now. Almost 70% ERS, and he's trying to catch Tebow, you think?
Who, Blin?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, look at the speed Tebow's got once he got past the traffic. I mean, he's caught up right up to Sir Vapor, and he's starting to reel in Perfect Pond with those old tires that he stood out. So possibly. We'll see how the pace is now. Blin leading the charge of this train. And Sir Charles getting a nice exit. That's got to be the move here. Almost too good an exit. Really can't use the slipstream. As we had Charles on... got Palmer. Tebow got Sir Vapor into the wall of champions. As we got a yellow, that is T-Brum.
Oh boy. Another one.
DJ Khaled with another safety car. Shaq in the YouTube comments asks, do either of you guys in comms race in TCR? No, we've never raced ever before. No, we do it. My co-commentator, Silent, or he races, what is it, Ecos Verstappen now?
Yes.
He races in Platinum, and myself, Seafreeze, in Platinum as well. He's in the Alfa Romeo, I'm in the Ferrari.
I think this puts Blin in a really unfortunate spot. The safety car we're getting now.
I say Blin comes in, gets another set of softs.
Yeah, but he's got the guys ahead as well who are probably going to bolt on the soft, so...
Yeah, no, you are right. Well, Perfect Pond comes in. Tebow's going to stay out. Sir Vapor as well. Blin's coming in, Jonah, and Charles goes forward. And the rest of the pack should definitely come in. Rafa Hulk's a little too far back. He's going to be in the back regardless of what he does, so you might as well put another set. No, I guess not. Don't listen to me. Maybe he will pick up some positions here. He might pick up all the way to Blin. Blin's coming out now. Not too bad. Rafa gets up to 7th. But he's going to be surrounded by a lot of soft tire runners. I have a question for Shaq in the YouTube comments. If you do hear the question, definitely respond. Are you a driver or in our Discord at all, or are you just a viewer that has found our channel after some of our streams? Because I've been seeing you in a lot of the comments recently. You know, definitely thanks for the support. But I can't put the user to a driver, but I'm not too sure if you race. I would assume not, but you definitely could. As Rafa now pits. He probably, you know what, that was silent. He went on an extra lap, and he said, damn, I'm around a bunch of soft tire runners. I'm going to come in now. I did the wrong call.
Well, I mean, it delays the safety car for another lap, so I mean, hey.
He actually does gain at least one position. Monkey Mafia must have had some damage. And once again, we'll have Ferrari at the head of the train, and we'll have Monkey out the caboose. This is going to be interesting. The last, we'll probably get green this lap, so we'll have from lap 24 to 35. On 12 laps. Got the top 3 on somewhat used mediums, 13 laps, although you did a few under the safety car. And from P4 onwards, all soft tires, and you will definitely be able to get to the end. Tebow, Sir Charles, Blinn Machine, and Formula Jonah, the only ones not carrying a penalty. And Sir Vapor, Perfect Pond, Palmer, and Monkey all have 3 seconds. Omega, Chibar, and Rafa Hulk with 6. So a lot of drivers got penalties early, and then they kind of calmed themselves down. And there we go. Tebow decides to go, gets a nice go ahead. Sir Vapor following. Sir Charles a bit of a gap behind, and he's going to be the first one to get swallowed up here, possibly by Perfect Pond. He had some great pace on the mediums earlier on. Now he's on the quicker tire, on light fuel. He has a mission to do to get his first win. He can definitely do it. He got to get to the front, and he's got to pull a 3-second gap. Who do you like here, Silent, as far as the win? You like Perfect Pond? You like the track position with Tebow up front? Do you think another safety car might present itself?
Honestly, I think Tebow has kind of messed up a shot at maybe even the whole podium. Staying out on those 14-lap-old mediums, taking them all the way to the end is probably going to be a tall order if he wants to win. So he's got Perfect Pond, Blinn, Formula Jonah, all these guys are on the soft, so, and they're all tailing up right behind, so I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get the win, and I don't think he's going to get the podium, if I'm honest.
Well, here comes Perfect Pond in turn 1 on Sir Charles. You saw the light was blinking, using up a lot of battery, and Perfect Pond promotes up to P3, and that is one more position towards the front. See if he gets Sir Vapor on this back straightaway. Dumping the battery. And going for the move. So he will pick up P2 now on the Red Bull.
That was pretty quick for him. Pretty quick and actually very decisive moves from him.
I think that's a key around this place. You never want to get caught up in the wrong corner. Because whenever you do get caught up, it's usually a chicane, so you're going to be caught up in 2 corners rather than a traditional 1.
Yeah, 2 corners and a traction zone, depending on where you're at. And most of the cars are all in the pack, so you lose 1 position, you might gain 1, or you might just lose 2 or 3 or more.
I'll tell you what, Formula Jonah just lost around 2, 3, or 4. He was battling with Blinn Machine, and now he's down in P8.
Ouch.
Well, there's the gap. You got Tebow in perfect pond. I think he'll wait for the next DRS zone to make the pass, but then he's got to pull 3 seconds, which I think he'll do easy. Now it's just a matter of will the softs equal out. I think the problem with Tebow is his mediums are just a little too old. As Rafa on Blinn Machine gets promoted back to the front, it will be perfect pond in his second race, going for P1 here.
Yeah, unfortunately, those mediums aren't going to hold on for much longer, and those last 3 to 5 laps are going to be the cliff for him. And Tebow, I mean.
Now, I tell you what. Where the heck did Rafa Hulk get all this speed from? Weren't we just on board with him?
Oh,
he was in the back. He's up to P4. He was literally 10th when we restarted under the safety car. And he's got 1 lap, I guess, fresher tires and perfect pond. He's still carrying 3 seconds. I wouldn't count him out of this race.
No.
As he's getting a move on Sir Vapor.
Oh, no, not a spin from Omega. Poor guy. He's not having a good night.
Rafa Hulk is on a mission. Because you know what? If he can get up to Tebow, which I think he'll definitely do, if he could possibly get to perfect pond, then it's pretty much just a battle between those two on track. Because if you look at the oh no, it's not. Rafa's got 6 seconds, so perfect pond is going to have to make a few mistakes for this to become reality, I guess, as Blinn gets move on Sir Charles. Mike in the YouTube comments says, I love watching these. Thank you for sharing the enjoyable content. Well, I thank you for watching and enjoying. We got Golden Class tomorrow for their Canadian Grand Prix, and Platinum Class on Thursday. You'll see Silent, my co-commentator here tonight, and myself, Seafreeze, in Platinum. Hopefully we're both battling for the win, right?
Yeah, hopefully we all get a good result here.
Did you podium last week? Or
did I?
Yeah, or were you just off?
What was last week?
Well, I
wasn't
guess
that an off week?
I guess you didn't get a podium then. I think you would have
Australia.
remembered. Yeah, it was Australia.
Yeah, I did podium just by like a hair, I think. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I remember now. It was against Flip Flop Fish.
Palmer on Sir Charles. Gets in. You're going to see now Sir Charles and Sir Vapor starting to lose that track position. Tebow still staying strong. Rafa Hulk on the gearbox of Tebow. Now, does he wait for the main straights, or does he do it in the hairpin? He's gonna wait.
Yeah, smart choice.
Davidi in the comments, Sequit, aka. He says, you'll see me crash as always on Thursday, folks. Well, next time you do, at least bring a safety car out. I needed one last week. The fact we didn't get a safety car at the opening lap last week was kind of bizarre. Alright, we got 6 laps left. This is going pretty quick. We did have the 2 safety cars, as we have Chibar closing up on Sir Charles. Light is blinking on the McLaren. Should be a move here. And Charles had to bail out. He had to cut the chicane. No penalty. He went to the escape route. And Chibar promotes up to 8th.
With 4 laps to go, Tebow is only 1.8 off of Arafa for P2. Do you think he's gonna drop off? Because I'm thinking this might just happen. And he's got a battle blend that's coming up quick.
Yeah, I think Tebow's still good for a podium here, but yeah, he's gonna need a late safety car, and I mean late, I mean really early.
Yeah, more like now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some divine intervention, maybe.
I mean, when you do have a lower amount of grid, you have a less chance of a safety car. Next season, hopefully, we do have the cross-platform potentially coming in clutch, so we should have definitely a lot more drivers on. Although Silver's been quite good for the attendance. It's just one of those nights. Monkey on Sir Charles. That's for 9th. We have a question in the YouTube comments by Shaq. Thank you. I love the comments and questions, especially for a dry period. He asks, what's your favorite track, Seafreeze? He didn't ask you, but if you want to, you could too. My favorite, I have 3, and they change given on the day. My top 3 are Britain, Japan, and Singapore.
I'm gonna tag along with Singapore. I mean, it's been happy hunting for me, and honestly, the flow of Singapore Sector 2, the technical stuff, all the technical stuff at Singapore is just my jam.
Jam, not jelly?
Yeah, jam.
Yeah, jam.
The real question is chunky peanut butter or smooth?
I'm a smooth operator type of guy, so I go with the smooth peanut butter. Palmer on Formula Jonah. Oh, and then, nope, Sir Vapor. Side by side. Nice. Good racing here. Little wheel banging, not too much. Palmer's got the inside. Sir Vapor now gets the inside. Palmer, opportunistic around the outside. Now he's got the inside. That's what happens when you got a lot of chicanes. You got the inside, the outside, now the outside, the inside. So are you a smooth peanut butter type of guy, or you are a chunky peanut butter type of guy?
I think it depends on the mood and the application. If I'm having a peanut butter and gel, it's got to be smooth.
Fair enough. Love peanut butter. Peanut butter, man. I think after this, I'm gonna get me some peanut butter.
You know what's good? Either peanut butter or like maybe jelly, but combine it with fluff.
Now we're getting crazy, but
Trust me.
yeah, I mean, this is coming from a guy who likes Hawaiian pizza, so I don't know how much I can trust.
Hawaiian pizza, hot dogs that have to be boiled.
What do they call it? Hawaiian pizza or pineapple? Pineapple pizza, right?
Well, no, it's Hawaiian.
Yeah,
because Hawaiian has ricotta cheese and pepperoni and ham.
And pineapples?
Yeah, pineapple, ricotta cheese, and ham.
Minus the pineapple, sounds really good. Alright, so I think we should do, maybe next race, maybe moving forward, we do a little bit of a food little bit of a food question. You know, maybe we pick one lap number and we just go all out and have a conversation, a little quick yay or nay on the food front.
Yeah.
But we're on the final lap here, so we do have to get back to action. That's what happens when you have a delay in the qualifying and Seafreeze is getting hungry. But it is Perfect Pond, and it looks like he will grab the win here tonight if he could keep it clean with 3 seconds only. It should be Perfect Pond. Rafa's carrying that 6-second time penalty, so I should promote Tebow to second. And the gap for third is very close between Rafa and Blinn. So we'll see how this thing shakes out. Let's see if it'll go smooth peanut butter or if it'll go chunky.
We got TJ already in the comments saying we're getting crazy.
Now Perfect Pond, he's swerving. He thinks he's got this win. So let's hope for it. It was his debut last weekend. It's not the weekend, Freeze.
Are you slowing down?
Oh, he's slowing down. He's going to lose it.
Yeah.
He might lose it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he had enough of gap. He knew what he was doing, but Tebow up to second. And on the podium is Rafa Hulk. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I was getting a little nervous there.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what is this guy doing? If you have a penalty, I'm dragging the car all the way to the line.
Honestly, I've done that in the past, and it's definitely turned out bad. And I'll never do it again. I'll never even swerve on the straight. I'll always go straight to the line, regardless the gap. I will never showboat a win in the game until I cross the finish line, because you never know who's got what penalty. Will you be getting a penalty for something? Will someone's penalty get removed? Or maybe you just botch the whole slowdown. You know, you remember when Verstappen at Austria last season slowed down at the straight to do a little burnout? What if you get the burnout wrong? Hey, I've done it. And I've lost some positions in doing so. Not what you want to do, and I'll never do that again.
Yeah, I remember that they were thinking about setting a precedent, if I remember correctly, and giving him a penalty for that because it was too close to the pit crew.
Well, I don't think it's safe for them to stick their head out the fence either.
I mean, if you think about it,
right?
back in the 60s and the 40s, you had cameramen on the track. So
I love back in the day when they used to have the guy on the track with the flag in the middle of the track, and both cars would go past on the left and right of them.
Oh yeah, see that's not okay. I can see that
until you get the guy 3 rows back trying to go for a move down the middle, and you just take the guy with you.
Yeah.
Definitely not a good look for Formula One.
Poor Blinn saying he screwed himself with wing damage. That's unfortunate for his race.
Alright, so hopefully we can get to talk with... do you have any of the top 3 invited? Otherwise I'll...
No, I'll do that now.
Yeah, if you got them. We will talk with the top 3. It's Rafa Hulk, Tebow, and Perfect Pond. If anyone has any questions for the top 3, feel free to leave them down below, and I definitely will ask. There we go.
Oh, remember, we might have to translate for Tebow.
Oh, we actually got word he says he can't come in the interview tonight.
Oh.
So I will just say congratulations on the P2, Tebow, and we'll see you next week for the finale. But we do have 3rd and 1st place, so we'll start. Just FYI, please make sure you have your audio sharing settings on in the party and in the settings. If you've been here each and every week like Rafa Hulk, We've had, well, not as of late. I gotta be honest with you. Let's see what your last podium was. Yeah, you haven't had the last. I think you started off the season quite well with 3 podiums, and haven't been on the podium since. Last podium came back race 3 at Britain, but you finally got back on it here at Canada. You got some real speed at the end with that safety car. You decided to stay out initially, to stay on the mediums, and then 1 lap later you said, alright, I made the wrong call, let me put on the soft tires, and that got you a podium. How'd it go?
Hey guys, yeah, this season is being terrible for me. All the aspects, like my fun attack had a problems. I couldn't play for like 2 weeks in a row, and today I was doing a good race, but me and Sir Charles, I think he was spinning, but I don't know what happened with his traction, and he lost control and hit me. I had to go to the pit, and thankful, like I had, like you said, had another safety car, and I tried capping the track just to see what the other racers gonna do, and everybody could soft, so I had next lap I just decided to stop, otherwise I would lose a lot position. So, and my setup was good, was fast, like you said. I had speed, and my pace was good.
All right, and what are we expecting here for next week? Finale. You did mention your season was kind of a bad season. You're hoping to turn around for the final race, and I guess give us a grade for your seasons. I guess a letter grade. What would you give yourself?
Yeah, like I hope like today was a good day, even though I went back to the grid and I got the position back, and all the racers is like the level here is very good. All the leagues like the gold, the silver, and I wanna keep with you guys. The organization is very good, and I hope next season I have like a better sequence, and like a better pace too, and have a little more time to train.
Fair enough. And Silent, any questions or comments for Rafael?
No particular questions, but congratulations on the hectic race. You managed to snatch a podium out of it. Surely your mentality throughout the race was probably just to stay out of the walls and maybe try to reduce the amount of penalties. But yeah, like I said, congratulations on making it to the podium. We saw you fighting for P10 at one point, and you were back up. So yeah, solid drive.
Thank you, and like you said, the penalties is killing me, always been. I have just, the break point a little late. I have to get that better too, but let's see what's gonna happen next season.
Yeah, of course, everything comes with due time and with practice. So
see you guys.
Yep, have a good night. Thank you. Congrats. Alright, and we will move to our first place winner, P1 in the Mercedes, in only his second race here in TCR in the silver class. It's Perfect Pond. First time here on the podium, first time winner. How's it feel? And yeah, initial reactions, first race win.
Ooh. Oh man, honestly, I'm kind of speechless. Honestly, definitely didn't expect that after my disappointment last week in Australia. I missed out on the podium by what was it, 1.5 tenths, something like that after penalties. And yeah, just wanted my redemption really, so brought it today.
Were you always sure the strategy was going to work out? We did see you stay long with the mediums, and then you got that nice safety car to get you off those mediums, put yourself on the softs, and it was really just kind of going for the mission. You saw Tebow in front, you only had 3 cars to pass, and you did it really timely.
Yeah, honestly, every time the safety car came out, I was like, oh darn, this is not what I needed. Honestly, I thought that it was going to be two stop really, like either medium soft or medium soft, depending on safety car timing and all that. But yeah, luckily, I don't know how I survived on those mediums, man. They were dead right as that safety car came out, and even the softs too. I just had to treat them like babies, every time I was hitting that first chicane, it was like, whoa, you gotta slow down there, it's losing the rear end a bit, but yeah, I'm glad I kept it in check there. But yeah, just unbelievable.
Is this? Have you done prior league racing? Is this the first league? Have you won before another league?
Yes, yeah. Let's just say I'm about double digits now in terms of wins under my belt, but yeah, this definitely ranks up there. This is definitely one of my best, I'd say. Definitely the one that took the most effort and that I pride myself in. Let's just say that.
Yeah, well, you definitely bring in some experience and some speed to the grid. Definitely from last week, and only your second race. You got one more next week to finish the season off. Any thoughts on possibly next season? Are you planning to stick around? Possibly.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, maybe even moving up the classes. Really, just really depends on how I get to grips with the new era of cars, right? So. Yeah, I'm hoping to move up, but if I end up sticking in silver, I don't mind. It's I'm here for the experience. That's yeah, that's my first aim. Have fun, get out and drive with the guys every week.
Well, that's awesome. Well, that's great. Great news. And Silent, any questions for Perfect Pond?
Yeah, so I saw you had a pretty solid first stint on the medium, but were you having any thoughts about going maybe on a two-stop strategy, maybe medium, soft, or were you trying to just stick it out on the medium and hoping for the safety car?
That was I was gonna try and make it a one-stop either way, even if the safety car came out. But it was really just about timing that stint so that way I have enough laps on the softs to actually catch up, or, if a safety car came out, obviously it did, have it that way planned out. Luckily it worked out that way.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I wasn't really thinking two-stop. At the start, maybe, but as you go on, you're like, okay, I gotta push these mediums, 5 more laps. I was kind of doing that kind of, I'd achieve more laps as I go. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because I noticed Thibaut had started on the soft tire and you went on the medium, but you were keeping pace with him very well. And I think Steve Freeze and I were both a little bit disappointed when we saw the 3-second time penalty. So we were like, oh crap.
Yeah.
He might be out of the race here.
Yeah, I definitely drove a little bit more cautious after that time penalty. Let's just say that. Yeah, I kind of started pushing my limits a little bit too much on those mediums,
Right.
But, got to grips, got, the DRS, luckily got past. Well, I had to choose the perfect spot to do it, because it's, honestly, you'd expect it to be an easy track to overtake, but it really isn't. And, you just have to pick your positions perfectly to, make the moves work, right? So, yeah, definitely had to play a little bit of strategy with that, and then, yeah. I kept the tires in check, temperature-wise and really tire wear-wise. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how I pulled it off, but it happened. So, yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, the safety car came in clutch, and it seemed like the strategy for Thibaut wasn't too optimal. It was unfortunate with the safety car towards the end of the race, but yeah, congratulations on the win. Hopefully, you'll keep progressing like this.
Thank you, guys. It's an honor.
Alright, and that'll conclude the post-race interviews and tonight's stream. So, final thoughts, Silent, on the race here tonight?
Honestly, we got some chaos like I was hoping for in the beginning, but not as much as I anticipated. Not as many, pile-ups.
Not too many pile drivers, I guess. We should have better attendance for tomorrow's race. Almost a full grid, so I might come back and be co-com to Sir Charles, who will be doing the main comms for tomorrow. And it'll be Blend Machine and a mystery guest, because we don't have one yet, on co-coms on Thursday. Same time, same place. Next week, we are at COTA, United States Grand Prix, for the finale. We do have the one championship still, a golden class, I think, is still up for grabs. Some constructors still up for grabs, so there's still some spots still to play for. Check the description for more information on how you can join the Discord, join the league. We've got some TCR merch as well on the website, some custom hoodies, jerseys. We got different colored hats, mugs, shirts, whatever else you got. I think there's sweatpants as well. We also have Drink Alchemy. Save 10% at checkout. Use TCR. And affiliation link with Fanatec. If you need some Fanatec gears, use the affiliation link down below and you'll help the league in doing so. With that being said, thank you for taking the time and spending your Tuesday. Oh, we're getting word it's Sensation and Blend Machine on Thursday, so that's going to be top notch. So you got to watch on Thursday. Yeah, we'll do it again here tomorrow, and we'll do it again next week, hopefully and willing. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you in due time. Have a good night. For taking the time and spending your Tuesday. Oh, we're getting word it's Sensation and Blend Machine on Thursday, so that's going to be top notch. So you got to watch on Thursday. Yeah, we'll do it again here tomorrow, and we'll do it again next week, hopefully and willing. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you in due time. Have a good night.